everybody, GB4576 here, and today's the day we've all been waiting for. The first episode of Death Battle of 2025, Kratos from God of War versus Asura from Asura's Wrath. Now, I am a PlayStation fan. Oh, we're getting into this. So I'm rooting for my man Kratos. And my favorite god killer is Kirby, by the way, that's why I'm wearing this shirt. Oof. Not really a fan of the YouTube premiere music, I'll be honest. Coming up. Fight!
Kratos versus Asura.
The Ghost of Sparta versus the Wrathful Destructor. Cause sometimes you just want to punch a god in the face. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Kirby
And
clears them
to
both.
analyze their weapons, armor,
I'm
and
only half
skills
joking.
to find out who would win a death battle.
Come on, Kratos!
In the beginning, the Primordials waged war.
All official material A to a character is applied to analysis, found time contradictory. Certain alternate, e.g. E for boy, B for boys, creator statements are only applicable as far as supported by the primary
across
source.
existence. A series of cosmic clashes that birthed
So they're
the
keeping that from Bowser, Eggman.
Now that's what I call a big bang.
From Ceto's death, the oceans would flow. From Uranus's strikes, the stars were spawned, and so forth. Thus, the world
I believe this is
itself
intro to
was
God of War
born
Ascension.
from violence.
Starting the whole messy cycle. Uranus was overthrown by his Titan son, Kronos. Who was overthrown by
Zeus.
his Olympian son, Zeus, who battled
And
his
Kratos.
own son, Kratos.
As a classic
Part
bastard
god,
child
part
of
mortal.
Zeus, Kratos was left
Oh,
among
Kratos is
Spartan
7'8".
mortals, far exceeding all among him.
Did not know
he
that.
became a
Just like
fierce
Sackboy.
warrior, winning many of
Doesn't
them,
wanna talk
until
about it.
finally cornered by ruthless barbarians.
Ares, destroy these guys who are kicking my ass, and my life is yours. A deal was made, and Kratos was joined
There
at the
we go.
bone with the Blades of Chaos.
Something
a
he
set of
regretted
chain
from
swords
that
and
day
basically
onward.
a badass whirlwind of flame and steel.
But Ares had a scheme. While doing work for his god, Kratos accidentally murdered his own family, permanently marked by the ashes of his wife and daughter. He was, forevermore, the Ghost of Sparta.
So,
The preview
he
for
was
this is
kinda
actually where I
understandably
first learned that, so
really
that's why he was
pissed
called the
off.
Ghost of
Time
Sparta.
for a new god of war. The gods were crapping their togas in fear as the new god of war took out his rage on all
God of
them.
War 3 is
Got
so
some new
good
gear
and
out of
so
it, too.
With
violent.
Poseidon's trident and Icarus's wings,
all
Kratos
the
dominated
weapons.
both sea and sky.
I want to see a look at all these weapons here. So they're giving him all the weapons across everything. They'll probably only use a few in the actual fight. The Arms of Sparta, Hammer, Blade Artemis, Blades of Chaos, Blade of Olympus. Yeah, Blades of Chaos and Olympus. I think that's going to be used. Definitely using the Axe. Maybe the Dropner Spear. As the shield, which you saw in the preview, and the Rage.
Also has a tendency to carry powerful severed heads, like Medusa's.
And the
Medusa's.
claws of Hades could steal souls, even the soul of Hades himself. Should have
Just
thought
gotta
that
get
one
rid of
through,
this.
man.
Neither Perseus or Hercules were a match for Kratos, nor was Helios, the sun god capable of moving stars and spreading light across the entire
Move
underworld.
over my
He
phone.
fought Atlas, the Titan of Strength, who broke the load-bearing pillar of the universe. So Kratos forced him to hold up the cosmos on his own instead.
And he can do it with just one hand, according to the
Here's the
novelization.
lore.
Even his grandpappy Kronos failed to stop him. You know, the guy who overthrew the primordial that punched the universe into existence?
Causing shockwaves that moved over a quadrillion times faster than light. A frankly
The thing you have to know
incomprehensible
about is that
feat.
with
Then
Kronos,
there's
he was
Daddy
technically
Zeus.
weaker.
Who proved a serious challenge, until Kratos drew perhaps his ultimate weapon, the Blade of
Oh,
Olympus.
the Blade of
It
Olympus.
can make tornadoes, lightning, force fields. Oh, and it can stab the hell out of you. It siphons godly energy and
Kratos regained the Blade of Olympus in God of War Valhalla, was able to summon it afterwards. Mimir described as a memory of your past made
pull it up
manifest.
to even kill Zeus. Like father, like son.
Even while Kratos ultimately released hope across the Greek world, he could only do so after annihilating everything.
Yeah.
Like a badass, he was unstoppable. Non-stop killing and sex and even more killing. And yet, he couldn't be any more depressed.
His wife and daughter were still gone.
Mm-hmm.
What was he to do?
He didn't know. He wandered
comics.
aimlessly for years, somehow stumbling into Norse mythology where he met Faye, his second wife. Good start, buddy.
Kratos
There we
had
go.
a new lease on life, but he could not escape his past mistakes.
This is where
There's
the
a
preview
reason he
is.
hid his swords in a dingy basement.
Preview
Even
ends.
so, Faye insisted he could do better. So he became a dad to a new boy.
Easily the
Boy.
toughest task he ever undertook,
the
especially
Norse
after
stuff?
Faye unfortunately died of a mysterious illness.
Damn it, not again! But hey, it wasn't Kratos' fault this time, and
That's
Faye left
good.
the tools he'd need to keep the boy safe,
Boy.
including the Leviathan axe.
Far from the whirling
the
rage of the
Leviathan
blades of
axe.
chaos, the Leviathan axe was deliberate and mighty, said to rival Mjolnir itself.
Thor wishes Mjolnir was as cool as this axe. It's imbued with ice magic and a poison even the gods fear. It can be summoned to Kratos' hand from a distance, and it even shatters souls.
Kratos may have once been a
Souls,
sword of
okay.
vengeance, but with his new weapons and a new purpose, he stood as a shield against the godly Asir.
Too bad he just can't help but get in trouble with gods. But now
To be
he
fair,
knew how to
Baldur showing up
control
was
his
not
anger.
his
Which
fault.
is even more important than it sounds. Kratos' Spartan rage summons an inner strength with magical properties.
He can even get so pissed off that he straight up heals himself. That seems like the opposite of what should happen.
Man,
Not all anger
yeah.
is problematic, and Kratos wields plenty of new weapons and relics to channel his rage through.
Like the Dropnir ring, which can summon a
Dropnir.
bunch of wind spears. They can absorb all types of energy and blast it back. He even has relics and magic that can warp space and slow down time.
Naturally, he contested with the
Odin.
strongest of the Norse gods, including the god of thunder,
Thor.
who was powerful enough to fight the fire giant Surtur and the world serpent Jormungandr at the same time.
Ooh.
Oh, and that fire giant would be the cause of actual Ragnarok. You can't
Ragn-
defeat
oh.
me, Thor. I know, but he
Can.
Well, not exactly. Freyr, the rain god, held off Ragnarok for a considerable time on his own, and the sheer power of Ragnarok shook Yggdrasil down to its very roots.
That's
Okay.
the world tree, which is like a
here's
literal
the world
tree
tree.
that connects the whole universe.
According to Freya, the tree's very existence supports all of creation among its boughs. Every strand transcending time, transcending space.
Okay,
Everything
gotta
comes
get the
back to the
information.
tree.
So it's kind of like Kratos lives in a really, really, really big treehouse.
In his quest to
Yeah, I
free the
guess.
Norse world, Kratos reclaimed
Let's see his feats. Killed most of the Greek pantheon, climbed out of the underworld, forced Atlas to hold the universe, killed Kronos, a weakened Kronos, but yeah, Kronos. Released hope into the Greek and Norse realms, revived being thrown across the planet, reconciled with his past, defeated Atlas, Hercules, Zeus, Thor, and Odin, and fought Shovel Knight to a
old
standstill.
weapons by
That's
reckoning
actually
with his
canon, by
past
the way.
sins, even taking up the blade of Olympus once again.
Yeah, is that
Even
good for
better,
Shovel Knight
he
or bad
actually
for
got to be
Kratos?
a decent dad.
Who knows?
And now the boy is a man and also a bear.
Kratos
A
made
bear.
a lifetime of mistakes, but this future would be different. He'd be more than he was in the past. Not just a god of war,
God of
but
hope.
a leader, a father, and a defender. A god of hope.
Yep. There we go.
This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
Okay,
With
that's
Robinhood
cool.
Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a
Sorry
3%
about that.
IRA match on
Let's skip ahead of this.
Annual
risk. First match and average save. Robinhood Financial.
There we go.
Long ago, a demigod fell from
Same,
the heavens,
basically the same
only
thing
to
as
rise from the
Asura.
depths of Naraka after 12,000
Now, I don't
years.
know about Asura.
After 12,000 years, he's free
Aside from what was in the
to
preview.
punch everything dumb enough to get in his way. He was the demigod
What is this
of
music?
wrath, Asura.
Alongside 7 other demigod generals, Asura served as
12,500,
defender of
28
humanity
physically.
against the impure Goma, dark spirit monsters infesting the world.
And the
Sure,
demigod
put him in Marvel vs. Capcom.
wielding a mystic
Okay.
energy formed from human prayer, mantra.
By advancing technology with mantra, the Guardian Generals became essentially hyper-powerful mystic cyborgs. They could each harness mantra through a different emotional affinity. For August, it was greed. For Yasha, it was melancholy.
I'll give you one chance to guess what Asura's is.
By
Wrath.
tapping into his wrath, Asura can take many forms for battle.
Yeah, I've seen the
like
preview.
six-armed Vajra, a state
So how many
powerful enough to
arms is
subdue the
Asura going to
embodiment
lose
of the
in this
planet's
fight?
will and the source of the Goma, Vlitra.
But he wasn't angry enough to put Goma Vlitra down for good. At least not yet. Of course, since he's literally powered by wrath, no enemy of Asura's would be stupid enough to do something that would make him even more mad, right?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Funny you should say that.
God damn it.
There it
First
is.
off, Asura is not some one-dimensional anger machine. In myth, the Asuras were powerful and aggressive beings, sure, but not inherently evil, just like Asura himself. He's a warrior, but also a husband with a daughter.
And a father.
Mithra.
And Mithra has the unique power to supercharge mantra energy.
Which gave Asura's prideful commander, Deus, an idea. If
Damn
he
you,
could
Deus.
weaponize Mithra, literally wiring her up to a super weapon, the Guardian Generals could maybe finally end Goma Vlitra for good.
Well, obviously, Asura wasn't gonna go along with that.
So they betrayed him.
Framed Asura for killing the Emperor, murdered his wife, kidnapped Mithra, and then just straight up killed him. What a dick.
But
Yeah, those
true
guys
to
are
his
assholes.
nature, Asura was literally too angry to die. So long as a single part of his body remains and can possess mantra, he can climb back out of Naraka, a sort of limbo underworld between life and death.
I
Thanks to
hope
some
they both
coaxing
die
from
at
a
multiple
strange
points and
golden
just come
spider,
back, 'cause
he
that'd be
did
awesome.
just that, with an all-new purpose in mind.
Make the gods pay! Oh yeah,
I like this
they're
song
calling
that's
themselves
playing.
gods now. Turns out they're all assholes who started sacrificing thousands of innocent people to try to power up.
I really
So
hope
Asura got
Asura's
really,
Wrath gets
really,
like a port
really
on
pissed
like
off.
And through
PS5.
his rage, Asura's power exploded, rising enough to throw giants like ragdolls, shatter whole moons, and destroy a fellow deity, Wizen.
Who could dwarf the planet
Yeah.
and wreck it
Apparently
with
that's
just
the
a
first
finger.
boss of the
Look
game.
at this!
Asura is so powerful, his soul cannot be manipulated by the Goma or the deities. He can propel himself with mantra to fly, harden his
Here, he enhances his mantra, it enhances strength, speed, durability, and stamina. Rapid fire, homing shot projectiles, energy spirals, explosions. Mantra arm, propelled flight, mantra of wrath, one of 8 mantra affinities. Increases his strength, the angrier it gets, kind of like the Hulk. Manifest fire from mantra, resurrection, enables transformations, and mantra reactor.
fist to break steel, fire explosive energy blasts.
And headbutt you so hard you wish you could die even faster. The dude literally stockpiles anger into a burst of energy that can one-shot even the toughest of foes. And when he goes unlimited mode, he can rapid fire those super attacks
Like, I think
without
this is
overheating.
new.
Asura's vengeance quest wasn't all shouting and explosions.
Okay,
though.
not yet.
I mean, it was a lot of that.
A little bit
but he
after
also
this.
tried to protect people from the gods, including a girl who very much reminded him of his own daughter.
Yeah, Asura's the kind of guy who wants to be a great dad, but all he knows how to do is punch anything that upsets his kid. Like that one dad that knocks out a ref at a Little League game.
And then the gods
Okay, this is the
killed
new
that
stuff.
girl too,
Oh.
along with her whole village, sparking Asura to unleash his berserker aura.
You know how the gods were sacrificing thousands of people to power up? Well, Asura got so freaking angry, he built up enough mantra to match them, even though they've been building up energy for thousands of years.
Oh.
Seriously, guys, you're pissing off the guy who literally gets more powerful the angrier he gets. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yet even in berserker mode, Asura never lost total control.
Berserker Asura adds even more extra arms, and they're big and glowy now. The man can launch so much angry mantra he wiped out the god's whole space fleet in seconds.
Asura's anger raised to levels so high
Transformations.
even he couldn't contain it,
Arja,
scorching him
six-arm,
into his
berserker.
wrath form.
Wrath,
Even though it hurts Asura
mantra,
while he's in it,
destructor.
this form is still perfect for absolutely shit-stomping a snobby demigod's face in. It's okay though, his brother-in-law punched the edge out of him.
Yasha saw the error of the deity's senseless sacrifices and teamed up with Asura for a coup against Deus.
Awesome, they're bros again! Just in time for Asura to hit his former boss with so much mantra that he burst, then dive into the planet's core to obtain power equal to 1,000 arms!
Oh.
His mantra form, finally, a power capable of killing Vlitra in a big planet-busting blast!
Ooh.
Deus was defeated and Gaia was saved. Yet,
Or was
Asura's
it?
wrath hadn't been quelled.
Title drop!
It turns out
Oh.
that spider that guided him was actually Chakravartin, the creator of mantra and the entire universe.
Oh,
And
okay.
everyone's suffering was part of his plan to make Asura his heir. Chakra kidnapped Mithra, because of course he did, and tested Asura in the form of a massive golden Buddha statue. Check out the size of it! That thing can literally hold a galaxy in its palm. Naturally,
Oh,
Asura and the
wow.
statue threw hands.
Enter the mantra reactor, capable
The mantra reactor focuses Asura's affinity with full control, bypassing any detrimental effects such as his wrath form to ascend to far greater power.
of holding 7 trillion souls, Asura instead used it as a vessel for a far greater power.
His own unfiltered rage. At last, Asura could show the world his real colors.
Everyone from the humans to the 7 deities to Chakravartin saw Asura's anger as a weapon, a sword for tyranny, when that was never who he was. His rage was really a shield to protect humanity, and most of all,
His daughter.
His daughter.
Yep.
A shield larger than a planet. Unbound by his past limits, Asura's ultimate destructor form effortlessly punched through asteroids larger than nebulas, dodged planet-sized lasers moving 2 quadrillion times faster than
2
light,
quadrillion.
and obliterated whole stars.
Chakravartin was understandably impressed. And
Annihilated
offered Asura a
planets,
chance to
rescued
take his
Mithra,
place. Asura smiled.
shredded through an army of Goma without arms, made August draw a sword for the 2nd time ever, defeated these guys, and fought Akuma to a
At the
standstill.
offer, and extended his arm.
Does that
Right
help
into
Akuma or
Chakra's
degrade
face, as
Asura?
if he was gonna let some god trample over more worlds. Instead, he literally beat the QTEs out of God, obliterating him and his plans in a cosmic explosion.
But with Chakravartin dead, so was the concept of mantra itself. Those who depended on it could not survive, including
Asura.
Hey, as long as Mithra was fine, it was worth it. Besides, he'll reincarnate millions of years later, still kicking ass, ready to strike a random thug, a meteor, or Ryu, right in the balls.
It's interesting. Despite the dangers of uncontrolled anger, Asura's wrath gave him the power to save
Title drop.
everything, all because of just one thing.
Some bastard made his daughter cry, so they had to pay. Now that's a god I can get behind. This battle is sponsored by Prize Picks.
Prize Picks. So, I think that Asura is going to win, but I'm rooting for Kratos because I like God of War. But because it's like the whole feats versus lore thing. It's like the lore says Kratos will win, feats says Asura will win.
Yep, if you download the app and use code DEATH, you'll get 50
But
bucks after your first
honestly,
time lineup.
I'm just waiting for a really good
Run the
fight.
game.
That's really all I want.
All
Devil
right, the
Artemis
combatants
says that
are
it's,
set
this
to run
animation
the
is
data
6
through
minutes
all
long,
possibilities.
so let's get into this.
For a dead battle!
Come on, Kratos! Come on! Okay, this is like the original teaser. We have Blades of Chaos and the axe. Kratos, the god of war, summoning like an Asura's wrath. Oh, he's gone. Kratos, get your axe! So he's being transported to Hindu land, Hindu mythology, or Mithra. Huh? You beat up the guys.
It's true then. The god of war is on Gaia. But
Full deity
not
Asura.
for long. You do not want this fight.
Here we go!
Run!
Yeah, run, Mithra. Just throwing hands. Oh! Oh! Ooh, they're both going raging up. Ooh, the God of War reference to 2018. Oh, quick time event. 6-armed Varja Asura. Oh, come on, Kratos! You can eat this!
You let
Blades
your
of
wrath
Chaos.
consume you. I have been down that road before. Shut up! Very well.
Nice voice acting. I think Asura's voice actor is better. But then again, I just know Kratos, don't know Asura. Here's a spear. He's jumping up. Oh, all the arms! Oh! Oh! Well, he lost a bunch of arms. Don't worry, he'll get out of this. Oh, you made me cry. Oh! Fallen reality. Okay, where are we now? I didn't know the axe could do that. Oh, Spartan Rage!
This is not my end!
Oh, Destructor. Is this the planet-sized one? Oh, this is so cool! Oh! References. He's gonna try to pick it up, isn't he? Come on, Kratos! Oh! He's trying to do what Asura did. Oh! Oh!
Death has not earned me yet, Titan!
Come on, Kratos! Throw the spear! Infinite
You
spears.
deserve a worthy end!
Oh, the Blade of Olympus! Oh! Oh. Oh. Is that it? Well, Asura's down there. Is he dead? He's stabbed with the Blade of Olympus.
You are a monster no longer. I never was.
Oh, Kratos won! I think. Can his body still possess the mantra? Is this a fake out? Never be too careful with these. And he just walks away. Hey!
Well, I guess Asura's wrath really is gone. But are we sure this is how it'd go? Even though Asura can blow up stars?
Asura had some amazing displays of apocalyptic destruction, but the full scope of their speed, experience, versatility, and power sheds a surprising light.
At first glance, speed seems like a shoo-in for Asura. Kratos is quick, but he never dodged a universe-crossing laser.
That doesn't mean he couldn't. Remember, as usual, we look at these characters at their peak, free from gameplay restrictions.
Yeah, we're looking at everything in canon, and Kratos fought and killed Helios, the sun god.
From the moment he's introduced, Helios is emphasized.
Kratos directly defeated Atlas in combat, who had just recently captured Helios, further supporting the notion that Kratos outspeeds Helios.
To be immensely powerful. Without Helios, darkness would shroud everything. His light was fast enough to illuminate the entire underworld while Kratos sailed through it, taking a few hours at most.
So, kinda hard to quantify, but that's consistent with
planet
the
Kratos
shockwaves
surviving
the
outer space,
primordial
shown as
caused
Battle
that
of
spawned the
Ares.
universe.
Arguments could be made for
God
which
of
is
War
faster, the
civilization.
primordial shockwaves or Chakravartin's intergalactic lasers. Since it's so close, it's safest to assume their
draw.
speeds are generally even.
But what does speed matter if you don't know how to use it? Let's cover experience.
Yeah, Asura.
Asura lived across centuries, obviously a lot longer than Kratos.
And while Kratos eventually learned to control his rage, Asura pretty much always had that control.
So Asura
Yeah.
easily takes experience.
Yeah,
But
Kratos
when
has
it comes to
versatility.
versatility, he couldn't match all the weapons and abilities Kratos had.
Sure, Asura's quite skilled and a monster at martial arts, but his fighting style mostly relies on one thing.
A whole lot
Fists!
of punching.
Kratos' weapons, magic, runes, relics, and even
Kratos' time-slowing powers would ensure a safer approach, gaining a significant edge. Chakravartin's own time manipulation affected Asura, indicating a vulnerability.
his rage gave him far more options in
Like, I
combat.
don't think
slowing
versatility
down time,
wasn't
healing
a
injuries,
problem
and
for
most
Kratos.
importantly, multiple weapons that could drain a variety of energies, like mantra.
Yeah, when Asura loses all his
Wait, let's see. God of War Ascension, Hades and his warriors empower themselves with souls represented by green orbs. The Blade of Olympus drained Kratos of his green orbs in God of War 2, exploring the notion they could absorb mantra, a similar form of spiritual energy.
Mantra energy, that's it for him. So the Dropnir spears and the Blade of Olympus gave Kratos exactly what he needed. Versatility. And multiple
Power.
ways to finish this for good before Asura just comes crawling back
Mantra
out of
has
the
been
underworld.
harassed
If he
and forcibly
could,
controlled
Asura's
before.
resurrections take years or whole centuries, days at best.
But all this assumes Kratos could match Asura's crazy.
In the manga, Asura's rage is so immense that he's able to survive without his core and outpace Deus' absorption method, regenerating immediately. Kratos has multiple sources of absorption, Congrain being stronger than Asura, suggesting Asura would eventually succumb. Keeping his body parts separated also a viable counter in that continuity, which Kratos should be capable of.
Crazy strength. All roads lead to power, which should go to Asura, right? Look at what he can do. If this came down to who made the bigger kaboom, he'd kick Kratos' ass in 2
yeah.
seconds.
But a
We all know
closer
that.
examination of their feats reveals the truth.
At his peak, Asura overpowered Chakravartin, annihilating that cosmic golden god.
By measuring the dimensions of Chakravartin's body and scaling it up to match the size of this galaxy-eclipsing statue, we can determine its volume. Add in the density of gold, for good measure assuming the form is solid throughout, and its
Okay.
mass far exceeds not just our galaxy, but our entire observable universe.
Oof.
Destroying
Wow.
that big golden god would need energy on par with obliterating our universe 91,000 times.
Extremely impressive and
91,000.
unfathomable. However, the same idea applies to Ragnarok shaking the roots of Yggdrasil.
Ragnarok is obviously a bit of a different beast than Kratos, but what really matters is what Freyr did.
Right, Freyr, a god comparable to Kratos, held back Ragnarok's power for a significant time.
So Kratos should be capable of the same level of power, or even more.
Using an official map and knowing the world tree's branches encompass all of existence, we can measure its size and volume.
And we know this map is accurate because it shows these two realms conjoined, which we see in game.
Even if we assume the Tree of the Realms is only 1% solid, a significant lowball that Kratos should easily scale above, shaking such an incomprehensibly large
Throughout the game, Kratos directly interacts with the tree and collects dew from its branches. In Norse myth, Yggdrasil is generally considered an ash tree, where the God of War cookbook of the Nine Realms described it as a yew tree, which is slightly dense, thus
structure
ash.
would require enough force to destroy our universe's mass energy 9 million times over.
That's almost 100 times greater than Chakravartin's destruction. And this isn't some one-off outlier. I mean, a realm-shattering supergiant doesn't sound too different from the other Titans and Olympians Kratos defeated.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's easy to think that we never see Kratos do anything that matches Asura, but we do. Helios' speed matches Chakravartin, and Kratos outsped him. Atlas is strong enough to lift all of reality, and Kratos overpowered him. Kronos defeated the creator of the universe in a one-on-one fight, same as Asura, and Kratos killed Kronos. Add in the clear numerical comparison of Chakravartin, Ragnarok, and Yggdrasil, and Kratos takes the edge in power.
But hey, Capcom, if you give us Asura's Wrath too, we'll try this again.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Asura's the sun rises. The god of wrath was Kratos.
Is Kratos.
Yay, Kratos is down the 1-1 lost camp.
What if
alternate ending. Oh shit! Neat. Oh! PlayStation button prompt. Valhalla. He can be with his daughter, or the underworld. He can be with his daughter. That honestly almost would have made for a better ending, if I'm being honest.
And that concludes my pitch for Asura's Wrath 2. The end. Next time on Death
Yeah,
Battle.
this got revealed at MagFest, but it still doesn't make it any less exciting! We got Ghost Rider versus Spawn!
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
And yeah, that was Kratos versus Asura. Like, this was definitely really good, and definitely a step above Devil Artemis' previous animation of Omni-Man versus Bardock. I'd say Kratos was portrayed pretty well. I still don't know how Asura was portrayed since I haven't played the game. Hey Capcom, give us a remaster of Asura's Wrath, pretty please. But, with that being said, if I had to rank this with the other Death Battles I've reacted to, I'd say it's below Bowser vs. Eggman, but above the other ones. And so with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please check out another video of mine, and I will see you guys later. Bye!